Welcome to this explainer on the OpenAI battlefield, unpacking Meta's Muse Glimmer. Okay, let's dive right in, because what looks like a standard tech release on the surface is actually the opening shot in a massive, high-stakes war over how computing is going to function in the future. If you follow the AI space at all, you might see the headlines and think, wait, is this just another routine AI announcement? And look, I get it. It is so incredibly easy to get release fatigue these days, with new tech dropping literally every week. But we really need to question that surface-level narrative here. Today, we're pulling back the layers on Mark Zuckerberg's latest move, because beneath the standard PR spin, there's a fundamental shift happening in how artificial intelligence is actually going to operate in our daily lives. And that shift, it starts right here. Meet Muse Glimmer. This is Meta's brand new open-weight AI model, and it's optimized specifically for autonomous, agentic tasks. But the absolutely crucial point here isn't just what it does, it's where it lives. This model is engineered from the ground up to run completely locally on a single consumer GPU, no giant server farms required. Now, the most shocking part of this release really comes down to one single number: 20. To understand just how wild this is, you gotta realize that normally, running a highly capable 30 billion parameter AI model, that requires upwards of 55 gigabytes of memory. That puts it way out of reach for average hardware. But Meta actually managed to compress that massive 55 gigabyte engine down to under 20 gigabytes. They pulled this off through a process called quantization. Basically, these are advanced data compression techniques used to drastically reduce the memory requirements of an AI model without losing its core capabilities. It's kind of like packing a giant suitcase into a tiny backpack without leaving a single thing behind. Because of this massive technical leap, developers and power users can now run a fully capable, multi-step AI agent right on a high-spec MacBook or a standard desktop graphics card. No way, right? Well, this incredible compression translates into some massive benefits for the end user. Escaping the traditional cloud server setup means you require absolutely no internet connection to use this AI. It means zero API subscription fees draining your wallet every single month. And perhaps the biggest win for a lot of us, it means no personal data is ever sent to a remote cloud server. You're retaining total privacy while still getting that top-tier AI performance. And get this, you aren't sacrificing intelligence to get that privacy either. Muse Glimmer didn't just appear out of thin air. It was distilled directly from Muse Spark 1.2. That's Meta's larger powerhouse model engineered for long-horizon reasoning. By distilling it down, Glimmer inherits a really deep code-based understanding and the ability to execute complex, multi-step operations flawlessly. But you know what? The hardware efficiency is honestly only half the story. Transitioning to the legal layer of this release, we hit the true game changer, a permissive Apache 2.0 license. The technical achievements of shrinking a model are definitely impressive, for sure, but the legal freedom attached to it, that is what makes this announcement so deeply disruptive for the global tech community. Just think about these Apache 2.0 freedoms. Under this license, you can download the model weights directly to your own machine. You can modify the core code to suit your specific, unique needs. You can host these models anywhere you want, and you can build and sell commercial applications completely for free. This is all about fully empowering independent developers to just build without any corporate restrictions holding them back. So zooming out to the macro level really shows the global stakes here. It's closed frontier AI versus open-weight AI. On one side, closed AI relies on API fees, heavy cloud dependency, and completely locked code. On the flip side, open-weight AI, like Muse Glimmer, is free, runs locally, and carries that permissive Apache 2.0 license. This stark contrast perfectly sets up the high-stakes strategy war that's currently raging for the ultimate control of artificial intelligence. And this sets up a fascinating three-way global battlefield. Let's walk through the players impartially. First, you've got the closed giants, companies like OpenAI and Anthropic. Their strategy involves locked megamodels and charging monthly API fees. And to be completely fair to them, they present a highly valid core argument. They genuinely believe frontier models are just too complex and potentially risky to be released freely into the wild. Second, you have Meta. Their strategy is to aggressively push open-weight AI. Their drive? To prevent a tiny handful of Silicon Valley monopolies from completely controlling humanity's digital backbone. And finally, there's a massive third player, China. They are pouring vast resources into a high-performance open model ecosystem, and they're driven by a desire to totally dominate global software development standards. That last point actually brings us to a crucial quote and a deep strategic fear for Meta. Mark Zuckerberg has made it very clear, warning that foreign open models could easily become the default standard for global software development. Meta's stance is that if Western innovation remains locked inside corporate walled gardens out of safety concerns, we might accidentally hand the keys to the entire developer ecosystem right over to heavily funded Chinese tech companies who are building without those exact same restrictions. But let's bring the focus back down from global geopolitics directly to the individual developer for a second. Think about what independent developers can now do for free. They can set up agents to manage daily schedules, execute complex code autonomously, organize files locally, and logically reason through multi-step tasks. When software engineers can run these highly intelligent agents on their own hardware without paying a single dime, it fundamentally changes the entire value proposition of paying closed cloud providers for those exact same capabilities. So the big takeaway here is that this isn't just some one-off software release. We are reaching a massive tipping point in the industry. Meta is already preparing to open-weight the larger Muse Spark 1.2 model, and they're teasing even bigger models on the horizon. They aren't just releasing a handy tool, they're actively trying to shift the gravity of the entire market toward an open-source standard. Which leaves us with a defining question. Ultimately, will the future of artificial intelligence be dictated by central servers hidden behind locked corporate doors? Or will open, local models running on your own personal devices take over the world? The opening shots have been fired, and the answer to that question will literally shape the next era of computing. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.